Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the first segment in our Fortune China Innovation Awards contest. You're going to hear from some amazing companies. We started by seeking out nominations from highly qualified sources, the top venture capitalists and other experts who track emerging companies. This yielded an extraordinary group of entities. Those were narrowed down to 12 competitors chosen by our panel of Fortune editors. So, over the next 2 days, each of these 12 will present and pitch their companies. Here on the stage, we'll have 4 categories. I'm going to talk about the rules of competition. 4 categories. In each category, there are 3 contestants. Each contestant will have 4 minutes for presentation, followed by comments and questions by the judges for 4 minutes. So another 4 minutes. At the end of each category, you will vote using the handheld devices that are in front of you. And thanks to our presenting partner, GAC, each of our winners will receive a new car. So each of our winners will receive a new car. Thank you very much, GAC. Thank you. The names of the winners will be revealed tomorrow in our closing session. Now I announce that our competition starts officially. Our first category is Fintech and blockchain. Firstly, let's invite our first judges to come up to the stage. They are Lenovo Group, Chunyu. JPMorgan Chase, Jing, Ulrich, and Fortune's Robert Hackett. Please be seated. So please really notify you, each of you only have 4 minutes. Now we will meet each of the 3 finalists in the category. The first, please welcome founder and CEO MDT, Mr. Huang. Hi, my name is Huang. I'm a serial entrepreneur and co-founder of Measurable. My name is Huang. Measurable turns anonymous transactions from actual online shoppers into actionable consumer insights for hedge funds and businesses. So this is what we do in our company. For the users, when they opt in the Mealtime app to enjoy the emailing messages experience, they will start to join the Measurable Insights ecosystem, as well as to share anonymous email data. Currently, Measurable collects more than 25 billion data points from over 8 million authorized email users. 25 billion. In the US and Europe, we cover more than 1% of the population sample. By scanning and identifying actual online spenders, email receipts such as in-app purchases, hotel bookings, e-receipts from online vendors, Measurable transforms them into valuable insights, which updates daily right after the purchases happen. All this data will be anonymously aggregated, unidentifiable, and encrypted By aggregating the data points, we generate actionable consumer insights like revenue trends, SKU distributions, purchase retentions by overlaps from hedge funds and brands. For example, this is an in-app purchase receipt sent from Apple. By processing and aggregating the data, we can find out the revenue trends, share of wallet, buyer overlaps across different apps and games, even which SKU contributed most sales or revenue. So which SKU contributes the most sales? Measurable is powered by blockchain technology to help data buyers get rid of data frauds. And on the other hand, users get rewarded for sharing anonymous data. This is also quite useful and important. So, as a matter of fact, we were the first Chinese startup company ever on the prestigious TechCrunch Disrupt Startup Battlefields San Francisco. Our data source app, Mailtime, was named Best of 2015 on the App Store by Apple. Mailtime was accelerated by Y Combinator and incubated by the creator of Gmail, and also a winner of Startup of the Year at the Mobile World Congress. This year, Mailtime started to team up with smartphone makers, mobile carriers like Xiaomi, Samsung, AT&T, and Vision, distribute to more users where preload partners. Company was backed by top institutional and angel investors. Measurable's core team members came from the investor of Push to Talk, founding team of Toolbox. Thank you. You ran out of your time. Now questions. Mr. Song first. Let me ask, because we're doing this data service intelligence, our data comes from C and end users. So privacy, how do you protect privacy?
English.
Sure.
I'm from JPMorgan, the largest global bank in the world, and we're very active in blockchain technology. I have a question for you regarding whether your users and companies are willing to share data on blockchain, and in terms of how you reward them to share their data. Everyone knows blockchain is a construct that's based on trust. So are you ensuring data privacy on blockchain?
谢谢。不好意思，要打断一下我们的林女士。
我结束了。
OK，thank you。谢谢。还有我们的海克特先生，有请。
I was impressed by the traction that you have with the app. You've got over 8 million inboxes that have signed up. But I'd like to know more about the rewards. You said that people get rewarded for signing up and opting in. What form do these rewards take? And how is that incentive clear that I'm giving up my data and somehow benefit from that?
谢谢 ，Thank you。到您的时间。
行，首先呢，就是说
First of all, just now, the first question concerning privacy. Privacy is mainly a law issue, legal issue. In privacy area, we need to focus on security and compliance. Our product itself has been cooperative with top telecommunication providers. Also, a lot of Europe, we're operating in Europe, they have a very strict GDPR regulation. We want to make sure in each of the legs, we want to comply totally, comprehensively protect the users' privacy. Talk about how to reward our users. As I said, from our users, actually we collect a huge amount of data points. Of course, the users can control whether or not they're willing to share with us. If they are willing to share with us, they purchase consumer insight report. Actually, at the back of this report, we quoted maybe 300,000 users contributed 500,000 times of data points. This consumer insights report may be sold for 80,000 US dollars. We can calculate for each of the contributor of the user who contribute their data point. So what is the portion of his or her contribution so as to get some of the reward? Also the purchasers of the data, we can guarantee them will not purchase false information through the blockchain anonymous source. So you only have limited time. Please do understand the second player from SequoiaDB, the co-founder and the CTO Wang. Now, Mr. Wang, you have the floor. Dear participants, good afternoon. I'm from SequoiaDB. I'm the CTO. My name is Wang. Talking about database, many friends may not be aware totally about what it is. Actually, this is the era of data information. Everything we do, we live, we work, including inside the enterprise. They store the equipment, they device, they store data. We call that database. Today, I'm going to talk about, the changes we have initiated. Our database is 100% self-developed database, distributed database. Is a major trend in this industry from the traditional mainframe to the distributed technology. Starting in 2010, we have seen this trend happening. Last year, the authoritative agency Gartner, for the first time, included China's database into their range of appraisal. Now, 20 databases are listed there from the entire world. So Alibaba and us are the two database representing China here in their assessment scope. Now we're talking about Fintech. The essence of finance is data. We have 1.3 billion people in China with e-commerce, O2O, and internet transformation. All these business exert huge pressure on the back offices of the financial companies. On the other hand, from other countries, we have seen the technical limitation, blockage. As a result, many of financial companies wish that we should possess our core technologies. As we know, data is the heart of finance, and database is the heart of fintech, driving the flow of the data. Well, data, the chips, is also very important. They are part of the IT infrastructure. They are the core products. Before that, some of the international players, they have established some of the technological barriers. But for us, Sequoia, we broke that blockade for the first time. So far, we own over 50 banks as our customers, over 100 financial industry clients. So all the banks, the core system originally was based on Oracle and IBM for their daily routine transactions, the deposit, the financial trend, operating on the foreign imported database. So, but after we emerged in China, starting 2015, we entered their core transaction system. We have over 50 banks as our customers to use our distributed database. So I'll give you some figures, including we have 105 big financial customers. The total data is bigger than 100 PB, and the peak time can reach 100,000 TPS. So over 400 business system data directly accessed to our database. Finally, we have entered the era of informatization for database. Already, we do not know that very completely, but they have already entered different aspects of life. Some of them have to, some of the database in Guangzhou, and many of the back-end transactions are working on our database. So we have a lot of customers right now. So I'll stop here. So I have Mr. Sung, you have the floor. Database for a long time should be dominated by Oracle. It has over 20 years of, very few people can replace Oracle. Why is that? Sequoia database is catching up so fast. This is my first question. Question number 2, going forward, the product development and plan, what are those in the next 3 years, for example?
Your product is self-developed and not based on any open source projects. So how are you going to keep pace with open source based competitors who globally have thousands of people contributing to these products? And then question number 2, in the global financial industry, we are dealing with a lot of structured data. And how are you going to compete with well-established companies such as Oracle?
Okay, thank you. 好，海克特先生。
You talked about having a distributed database. I'd like to narrow down a little bit more what you mean by that. How is it distributed? This is a very hot area in finance right now. It's risen to prominence largely because of the popularity of blockchains. Is it a blockchain? Does it differ from that? Have you evaluated that technology?
Understood. Okay.
Let me just answer this question. Number 1, so for us, how do we win out over Oracle? Oracle is a dinosaur. Many years technologically, it put all the data into a very big box. This box itself is like the storage and it has limited capacity of computing. Along with the fintech and new business development, its capability and speed. We have new demand. This is what we mean by distributed one. What is distributed? The biggest characteristic of distributed is we use multiple boxes to replace the single box of Oracle. So we can treat them in a parallel manner, process all the data. Time is running out. Let me just say concerning open source. For open sourcing, so our product is also open source. So we are the only Chinese database with this open source in China. For Alibaba, it did not have its own product. But for us, we are totally open source. So our product is open source and the only one in China self-developed. So I do not believe we have any major difference with the other products.
Still have some time to answer about our future plan. Our future plan, we will look at the financial sector first. We have about 100 financial customers. We will expand to other industries like telecommunication, mobile providers. Thank you. Thank you, Wang Tao, for your good time control. Thank you. Please take a rest. Our next speaker is Zhao Ying, co-founder and CTO of UNPay. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm very happy to have this opportunity to share with you about UNPay. How can we ensure payment to be borderless? UNPay is the first global one-stop fintech service platform, and we are the first brand to provide international payment. We have a global positioning. We have global offices. To meet regulators' requirements, we set up office in different countries and applied lessons. Our headquarters is in Singapore, and we have a service capability in every continent. It is very rare. We set up an open technical platform to gather cross-border merchants, financial institutions, and various kinds of partners. Every different kinds of partners can enjoy our services and resources on our platform. We have 2C, 2B comprehensive platform technical capability. We develop the ARC platform. Our platform is called ARC, and we have a core payment capability on this ARC. And this, the merchants can use our platform to exchange foreign exchange to have a risk control. Within 1 year, we have linked with 500 e-wallets and cover 200 countries and regions, and we can easily achieve global coverage of cross-border remittance. In November 21st, Premier Li Keqiang hosted a State Council conference about cross-border policy applicability, and the scope and transaction limits has been raised. Because we have a global location, that's why we can provide one-stop services. We cover 3 areas. That is foreign exchange, and fund issuance and risk control. We get a first-hand exchange rate as compared to third-hand and fourth-hand exchange rate. Our prices are very competitive. Our fund issuance methods can reduce the cost by 30% to 50%. As compared to the heavy payment platform, we can enable the Hackett payment platform and set up a new payment ecology. We believe that in the digital payment world, the value of payment is exceeding payment itself. So on our network, we have a fund flow, information flow, and this will upgrade into a global digital credit system. Last week, CCTV, China's central TV station, reported the county of Yiwu, which have a direct scheduled train services between China and Europe. And we, together with Yiwu City, set up this cross-border e-commerce public service platform to serve Belt and Road strategy. So why UNPay can do this? Because we have a core team with payment industry experience for more than 10 years for every team member. And our team members are from Fortune 500 companies. Our founder used to work for Ali, Baidu, and he used to manage a team of 1,000 persons. So we're very happy and very proud to be a unique Huang in future. Now we have Mr. Song to offer a comment. UNPay in the financial sector, especially this is an infrastructure for all business activities. So cross-border payment, whether we will have a unique Huang in this cross-border payment area for 2C businesses, WeChat plays a key role, and Alipay also plays a big role. So winner takes all. In cross-border payment area, who will win? Can you comment about this?
I have a couple of questions for you. You seem to have an ambitious goal to become a one-stop shop for payment solutions around the world. How are you planning to gain market share in this very competitive field? There are hundreds of players already. Secondly, your global expansion. It appears to be quite aggressive. I think you're in Hong Kong, in Beijing, Indonesia, India, UAE, Malaysia, et cetera, et cetera. So having physical presence in all these countries seems to be stretching your resources. So are you expanding too wide, too fast, too soon?
Hackett先生，请，谢谢李女士。
I have a similar. Your offices are all over the globe, but in order to actually approach this and roll out, what markets are you focused on in particular in order to gain market share?
Yeah.
请作答。
我觉得三位评委的问题。
I think your questions are similar. To summarize your questions, and we are setting up a light payment platform, and we are not a heavy payment platform. That means that we can expand in different countries easily. Coming to the first question, for 2C scenario, for Ali and Tencent, they are doing very well. But if you go to other countries, each country have a dominant player in their area. So we are not competing with the dominant player, but we are setting a network to link all the dominant players together. In this way, we can enjoy the resources together. We do not focus on transaction volume. but we can have a behavior and consumption data in this network. This data are meaningful for us. So many network platform, many investors believe that we are a kind of company like a Visa. Visa link banks together, but we are linking digital payment providers together. So that's where our value lies. So we can set up the future digital credit system. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny, for your answer. Now we have heard all the first category contestants.